Let's move on to the wrestling rant. The wrestling rant for this episode of That Wrestling Show. Now, it was released about midweek.
Yes.
We heard about a couple months ago that Pandemonium is a movie being written currently and in production about Vince McMahon. It's a Vince McMahon biopic.
Yes.
Well, this week we found out that Bradley Cooper is in talks to play Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Very interesting.
It's a very sexy looking Vince, I'm going to tell you that.
It is.
So what we decided to do here on the Wrestling Rant is cast, if you will, the main parts, the people that we think would be a main player in the Vince McMahon story.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to you first. And did you pick someone else for Vince McMahon, first of all?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I stuck with Bradley Cooper.
Then let me start then. Okay. Because I did. I feel I have someone better than Bradley Cooper to play Vince McMahon, and that would be Mel Gibson.
Yes.
I think Mel Gibson has the size, he has the aggression, he looks damn near like Vince McMahon at this point.
That's a good one.
And I feel in this movie, because professional wrestlers are extremely iconic looking. Like they're based solely on, not solely, but mostly on their look. They are living cartoon characters. Yeah. They are monsters in size. Right. They all have signature facial looks. So in a movie like this, you don't want to, and it's going to be taken seriously.
Right.
It's a real movie, so you don't want to dive into parody. You don't want to have the guy, wearing a bad Hogan wig and a mustache, just kind of walking around, "Oh, brother." I can do that.
Yeah.
By the way, I can do that.
But if you want,
I can do that. But it's going to be taken seriously, so you want to have actual actors in this. It's not just going to be a bunch of wrestlers playing other wrestlers, because that's Southpaw wrestling.
Yes, it is.
And that's while it's entertaining, it's a parody.
Right.
Okay. So I feel you need real actors, and there's going to be a lot of either aging or de-aging through makeup. A lot of these actors are going to have to bulk up.
Right.
So I had to take that in consideration. Who has these athletic builds, but that could also put on mass?
Right.
So that's where I went with Mel Gibson, because after seeing him, especially in the last Expendables movie, he got jacked up. For a man his age, he got jacked up for that movie.
Very true.
And again, looks just like Vince McMahon. But I'm going to go to you first. Hulk Hogan is first up on our list.
So the thing that I decided to do for Hulk Hogan, just because I would want to see it, is John Cena. I would love to watch John Cena play Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
John Cena has proven that he actually can act.
He's actually a decent actor.
He's actually a decent actor, and I think between that and what he did in Southpaw Regional Wrestling, I think he would be very fun to watch be Hulk Hogan.
Okay. For my Hulk Hogan, again, because these are such iconic characters, I had a little asterisk on two of these guys.
Yeah.
If not, Hulk plays himself. If they don't get Hulk Hogan to play himself, I'd go with Thor, Chris Hemsworth.
Ooh, very fun. Chris
Again,
Hemsworth
these guys are going to have to bulk up a little bit.
Right.
But I feel Chris Hemsworth, as Thor, has proved he can be that big, imposing. I mean, he goes toe-to-toe with the Hulk already.
Yeah. He's going to show up on my list.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth will show up on my list at some point.
So I got Chris Hemsworth for Hulk. You got John Cena. Let's go Andre the Giant.
Jermaine Clement is who I decided.
Who's that?
He is the guy from Flight of the Conchords.
Okay.
Obviously, you're going to have to like use camera tricks because he's not going to be as big as Andre the Giant. But he's from Flight of the Conchords. You would also know him from Moana. He played the crab in Moana. And I just think that he would be very fun as Andre the Giant.
So I'm kind of setting a trend here. You're building this as a comedy.
I'm building this as a more lighthearted drama.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the people that are going to be in this are going to be far more it's not going to be extremely serious because it is about pro wrestling and it is inherently silly. Right. So all of the people that I chose are going to be able to be adventurous in that comedy realm.
Okay. Fair enough. For me, this is one of only two wrestlers I had cast in this movie. I went with Paul White.
Okay.
The Big Show. Yeah. He's proven he can act. He's done, even on Raw himself, he's one of the better actors on the show.
Yeah.
And, he came into wrestling as
his son.
Yeah. And he has that, he's got all the features you need to play Andre.
Paul White was a person that I considered, but I didn't want to have too many real wrestlers.
Like I said, he's only one of two.
Yeah, so I have another one, John Cena being one, and there's another one that's going to be in there that I'll get to.
Who would you go for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The obvious choice is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He was the second after Hulk Hogan that I said if he doesn't play himself.
That would be, that's the obvious answer. But then I would say Vin Diesel.
Okay.
I'd say Vin Diesel if I'm not going to get Stone Cold Steve Austin to actually be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I actually have Vin Diesel on my list a little bit further down.
All right.
I went with Tom Hardy.
Okay.
And if we had the picture up here, I have found a picture, like they just look almost identical in this one little picture I found. Plus, he played Bane. He's a big jacked up bald guy in Bane.
Yeah. It's pretty funny because
all he's gonna do is put a southern drawl on that son bitch.
Because Tom Hardy also appears on my list.
I like that we're thinking in the same ballpark here. The Rock.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
See, I said they can't afford him.
Yeah, I think that.
I don't think WWE Studios can afford Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at this point.
If they can get, if they're talking to Bradley Cooper, I think that they can get The Rock.
That's a hefty one.
But if WWE is producing,
I don't even know if The Rock could be afforded for The Rock story.
Yeah.
He's a pretty expensive actor at this point.
Right, but you're also talking about, it's the WWE. Who knows how long The Rock's character is in this? Because when we get to the rest of the McMahons.
Yeah.
I casted 2 people, and so I think The Rock will just be a small footnote in this. It really depends on what the time span of this movie is.
I was also, in mine, I was also trying to stay away from too many them playing themselves in it type of thing, because it would almost feel parody-ish.
Right.
I don't know. So I went with Tanoa Reed.
Okay.
Now, Tanoa Reed is The Rock's cousin and stunt double.
Yeah.
If you go to his Instagram page, there's pictures, they look identical.
Okay.
And he's done all The Rock's movies. So they're the same body type, they look identical. He's already been playing The Rock basically from behind and from the sides and stuff in all the movies.
Right.
If the man can speak, he's got the role.
Right.
But if we wanted to go with a name, that's where Vin Diesel landed on my list. I don't think The Rock would approve that because of their personal history, but that would be my choice for Vin Diesel, would be playing The Rock. Linda McMahon.
So I picked 2 actresses. I have an older actress and a younger actress. And the older actress that I picked was Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
To be old Linda McMahon. And then Jennifer Lawrence to be the younger Linda McMahon.
I was toying with a few names and I settled on one. I'm going to go with Susan Sarandon.
Okay.
I think she can be de-aged enough to play young Linda, and she's almost in that perfect wheelhouse to play older Linda. Plus, after seeing her in the Joan Crawford, Betty Davis movie Feud, or Feud, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And now she's got a resurgence. She's on Ray Donovan now. I think she is like, she's on that second or third wind, if you will.
Okay.
So I'm going with Susan Sarandon for that. Shane McMahon, Shane O'Mac. Who's going to jump off of stuff?
So I got, again, 2 people. I have a young version and an old version. The young version is Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, and then the old version is Adam Driver.
Okay.
Adam Driver would be
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Okay.
So that would be who I would cast as.
So you're
older.
You're going in the route of they are going to cast 2 people in these roles, a younger version and an older version.
Because again, I don't know what they're going to do, but you're talking about 50 years of WWE, right? So you're going to have young Shane McMahon popping around, and then you're going to have, in theory, the story of Shane McMahon saying, screw this, I'm going to China.
Right.
And that can't be played by the same person. So
my thought, when I was casting this, I was kind of envisioning more the kids showing up almost when they did on TV in the 90s, where they're already teenagers, 20s, and then going on to today. But I understand that completely. You're going to have to show them as children as well. So there could be a few child actors we could throw in there,
Right.
For my Shane McMahon, I went with Miles Teller.
Okay.
He was in Bleed for this. We won't talk about the Fantastic Four.
Right.
He was in Whiplash. It was excellent Whiplash.
That was a great movie.
So, and I feel that he, again, is in that right age range where he can be aged up to play current Shane, and he's almost right around that age where they can just de-age him a little bit to play younger Shane.
That makes sense.
Stephanie McMahon.
I went with Millie Bobby Brown. And she is 11 in Stranger Things. To play young Stephanie. Yep. And then older Stephanie is Debbie Ryan, who is a Disney Channel actress.
Okay.
From Jessie.
Okay. I'm going to have to Google that one.
Yeah, you're going to have to Google that
There's going to be a lot of Googling. Watch this back and Google these
Google
pictures.
The show.
There you go. Google image is your friend. For my Stephanie McMahon, I went with Ariel Winter of Modern Family.
Yeah.
Again, I feel she's in that right age where she can be aged up enough and aged down enough to play both the younger Stephanie in the teen and 20s and then today's current Stephanie. Yeah. And I feel that there's a striking resemblance to them. Right. Triple H. Rated H.
I went with Tom Hardy.
Wow, okay. I can see that.
Tom Hardy.
I can totally see that. Anything that jumps out at you?
It's a lot of the same reasons why he appeared on your list for Stone Cold Steve Austin, minus the looking like him. It was Bane.
Bane.
He's big, he's long.
He can throw people around.
Yeah, he can throw people around. So
big, muscly, sweaty man.
But Tom Hardy has played enough characters where I think he can play the more humorous sides of Triple H, that D-Generation X.
Somebody saw Legend, didn't they?
Yes, I did.
Great movie. Tom Hardy in Legend plays 2 roles. Go check it out.
But that's one where, I think that he can play something a lot more lighthearted and comedic while also shifting more into darker and serious.
Gotcha. My Triple H, I went with Alan Ritchson. Now, Alan Ritchson, for those of you that watch Blue Mountain State, he was Thad Castle.
Yes.
And most recently, he was in the fantastic, it was only picked up for 1 season on the Sci-Fi Network, Blood Drive. Go watch Blood Drive on demand. It is grindhouse schlock at its best.
Yeah.
It is. I'm currently binge watching it. I'm at like episode 7 of 13, and it is fantastic.
That's amazing.
And I believe, again, if he's got that right build, looks very similar to Triple H, especially young Triple H, where if he bulks up just a little bit, perfect. Perfect casting in my part. Ultimate Warrior.
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, wow, okay.
Chris Hemsworth. I think that he has he has subtle comedic timing, and I think he would be able to play the Ultimate Warrior seriously while also being able to bring out those humorous moments. Because you look at Thor, right?
Yeah.
The character of Thor, at least the way he's portrayed in the Avengers films, is extremely serious. But Chris Hemsworth is able to deliver those lines where Thor believes what he is saying is right, but it's funny.
One of the funniest parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I felt, was the first time Thor was in the real world in his Thor movie.
Right.
When he's in the diner and he starts throwing the coffee cups around, give me another.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, it's like watching dogs learn how to talk.
Right.
You know?
Or, I mean,
but they're still doing dog stuff.
If you look at the trailer for Thor Ragnarok,
it looks awesome.
It looks awesome. But then you look at the Hulk come out, and he goes, oh!
He goes from warrior to buddy.
He's like, oh, we're friends from work!
Love it.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, you're so serious, and that's so funny.
Right.
Or like, we need to come up with a team name. How about the Avengers?
The Revengers.
The Revengers. Yeah.
Revengers.
How about the Revengers? No, we're not doing that.
No.
But okay.
So you're going with Thor to play
with
the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
I feel Warrior, if given the time, well, first of all, old Warrior, the very last Warrior we saw, I had Mel Gibson down as well. I just felt if they only show that one part, that would work perfectly.
If we were to do Old Warrior, I would want Kevin Nash.
That'd be a good one, actually.
Just to watch Kevin Nash do it.
But I feel if they're probably going to show Warrior back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I feel that Warrior was so out there.
Yeah.
So eccentric, so insane, and had such, again, a very significant look to him.
Right.
You need an absolute extreme method actor, someone who's willing to transform their body to very, very, very dangerous extremes. And I went with Christian Bale.
Okay.
I've seen what he did with Machinist, what he's doing currently to play Dick Cheney. I just read something where he's doing like weird neck exercises just to get Dick Cheney's like neck correct.
Oh wow!
It's the straight. I didn't even know you could do that. I'm gonna have to start doing neck exercises apparently. But
weird.
But yeah, I mean he's like as method acting gets, and he will dig into the Warrior character. And I feel especially on the serious side of things, I think he'd be perfect for Warrior.
All right.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
So, after hearing Thad Castle, I want to change it to Thad Castle to play Macho Man Randy Savage because I love Blue Mountain State.
I hope there's more Blue Mountain State fans out there. I absolutely love that show.
That show is so funny. One of my favorite episodes.
It's on Netflix. Go watch it, please. 2
episodes. The one where the football team is feuding with the lacrosse team.
Yep.
That's a hilarious one. And then the Vision Quest episode where he takes a bunch of drugs and is just going on a Wizard of Oz type acid trip. Both of those are the funniest thing.
Who did you have before? Of course, Alan Ritchson.
I had Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke as Macho Man.
As Macho Man. Because basically,
I almost see him as Warrior, now that I think about it.
Well, when he played Randy the Ram, he was basically Macho Man.
You know what? Now that you bring that out, yeah.
He was basically Macho Man Randy Savage. So
that could work. Mine, this is the second of 2 wrestlers I had on there. Jeff, and I'm going to butcher his name, Sculio.
Okay.
Everyone knows him, of course, as Elias Samson.
Oh, you want to walk with Elias?
I believe not only just physically the look, but having watched him enough and reading through the Bashing the City songs he does,
right.
I feel he has enough chops in him. And again, the physical appearance is just uncanny. If you put the two of them side by side, I believe Elias could easily portray Macho Man in the movie.
So,
and also, he's not a big enough superstar right now.
Right, it would take away.
Where it's like, oh, well, that's John Cena playing Hulk Hogan, as you would do. But it's like, oh, it's almost like if you make him up enough, it's almost like, oh, it would take you a minute to figure it out.
Right.
Almost like I did with Southpaw Wrestling.
Yep.
It took me a while to figure out it was AJ Styles as a used car dealer.
Oh, that's so
It took
funny.
me a minute. I'm like, who is... I'm like trying to look at the beard and figure it out. And I'm like, who is that? Because he looked fat.
Now, two people that are wrestlers that could also play Macho Man Randy Savage.
Go on.
Jay Lethal, who was the Black Machismo.
He was.
In TNA.
Yes.
And Aaron Stevens or Damian Sandow.
Yeah, Damian Sandow would be excellent as him. That's a good one.
So
okay,
those are two actors, wrestlers that could act as Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's actually, I didn't even think of Damian Sandow. That'd be excellent.
Yeah.
Bret Hart.
You know what? I went with Keanu Reeves. I went with Keanu Reeves just because I think he'd be able to capture the no personality of Bret Hart well enough that it would work. And I love Keanu Reeves.
Of course, who doesn't love Keanu
So I
Reeves?
wanted Keanu Reeves in
Just
this
watched
movie.
Point Break the other night. It's excellent.
Point Break, great movie.
I went with Zach McGowan, who was Jody on Shameless, which is a Showtime show. He's also been on Black Sails. He's currently on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Again, I'm going mostly physical, but he also does have that very, almost like, as you were saying, personality less.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of just there. He's a very stoic type of actor, but he also looks very much like not Randy Savage, Bret Hart. And big enough where he could do a little bit of bulking up, but not too much to change himself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Zach McGowan is my Bret Hart. Who do you have moving a little bit further into Vince's personal life?
Yeah.
Pat Patterson.
I would have to go with the guy who plays Coulson in the
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wow, okay, interesting choice.
I think that he'd be able to play Pat Patterson pretty well.
Interesting one. I went with Robert De Niro.
Oh, okay.
I think Bobby D would handle Pat Patterson really, really well.
Okay, yeah, that'd be really good.
Again, there's be some de-aging for the older times, but I think he can do it enough. You know, digital stuff, they did it with that Stallone movie where they were...
yeah.
It was basically two computer cartoon characters boxing, but yeah. I think De Niro would pull it off. Dick Ebersol. Now, Dick Ebersol, of course, if you watch the ESPN 30 for 30, this is the XFL.
Yeah.
Dick was Vince's partner in the XFL.
Right.
He was one of probably the most powerful people at NBC. He helped create Saturday Night Live and Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yes.
Dick Ebersol, I feel, in the Vince McMahon story, would be woven in through almost all of it.
Right.
Now, I had a couple of joke answers. I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah, I actually couldn't think of anybody for this.
All right. Well, I had Eric Stoltz, but only in his Rocky Dennis makeup.
Okay.
From The Mask.
Yep.
I also had the guy that played Vigo the Carpathian in Ghostbusters 2.
Yep.
But if we're being serious, I would cast Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
I think Paul Giamatti is one of the finest actors we have currently.
Yeah.
And he has enough of that look, but he would get lost in that character, I feel, and really make it his own.
Yeah.
So Paul Giamatti is my guess. You had nothing on Dick Ebersol, which is okay because we got 3 choices from me.
Yeah, right.
Last, but certainly in this day and age, never least, President Donald Trump.
There's only one answer.
Isn't there?
There's only one answer.
We've had him been playing him for how long now?
It's going to be Alec Baldwin.
It's got to be Alec Baldwin. I did have a little asterisk and say maybe the younger Donald Trump will be Billy Baldwin, but we'll have to check on his impersonation. But Alec Baldwin, I believe, is absolutely going to play him.
Yeah, or if we have young Trump, maybe it's Taron Killam.
Taron Killam, go ahead.
Former SNL actor, married to Colby Smulders, or together with Colby Smulders.
Okay.
I think he could do it.
That's a Googleable person.
It is.
It's going to have to be.
He was
for
in
me.
SNL.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. You know.
Yeah.
Him. So that was our casting of the Vince McMahon biopic, Pandemonium. I love the name, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
You do not hear Pandemonium. Since Stu Naham in the Rocky movies, you have not heard Pandemonium said enough. I love it. Absolute Pandemonium monsoon. I love it.
Yeah.
That was a little Jesse Ventura for you. You're welcome.